Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie. Today I have 10 Valentine's Day gift DIYs for you. I have a little bit of everything in today's video. This DIY is going to take 4 of the 8x8 canvases from the Dollar Tree and 4 of the 8x10 acrylic boards. What I want to do is try to create a claw machine. I want it to be filled with treats and gifts inside, so what I really needed were 8-inch boxes and I couldn't find anything. So I'm going to try to DIY my own with the 8x8 canvases from the Dollar Tree. These are like the canvas boards. They also have 8x8 wood signs, but I thought the canvases were going to be plenty. One will be the top and one will be the bottom of the box. So for the first thing we're going to create, we're going to use some Dollar Tree foam board for the sides. And we basically just want the box. It's going to be the bottom of the claw machine where it's going to have like the little door, that you could like get your prize if you catch it with a claw, that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is use the little 8x8 canvas here to get the right width. And I want to cut down a panel. I'm just kind of estimating the size of this. I'm going to need 2 that are 8 inches wide. So they will go end to end on the canvas. And then the other 2 sides I will have to cut a little bit shorter to go in between so that everything fits on the canvas to create a box. So I just used my razor blade and cut these out. Just want like 2 rectangular size pieces. And you can see me bundled up. I craft in my garage, and for some reason it is freezing in Florida. We actually had frost and literal ice on my windshield this morning. I could not believe it. Everybody's roof had frost on it. I've never seen this. It was cold. And so I am going to see if that's going to fit. I think it will. One on each side will be the 8-inch. So for the next 2 panels of the box, I'm going to cut them a little bit shorter. I just kind of estimated. I can always cut them down a little bit more if needed. I do want them to be the same height though. These are going to be the sides and they're going to fit in between the ones that we already cut out. So I'm going to need 2 more of those. And I probably should have used my hot knife for this. It does glide through the foam board a little bit better than my razor blade. But I'm going to clean these up a little bit because they are a little bit jagged the way that I cut them out. To do that, I just used a sanding block and sanded them until they were smooth. Now, on this first batch, I didn't remove the paper from them, but you probably should. I find that gluing to the foam inside is actually better than gluing to the paper because the paper can peel off a little bit. But this is what we're going to cover the boxes with. I found these gift bags at Dollar Tree. They have a red embossed heart on them. It's only on one side of the gift bag, and I really like it. So that's what I'm going to use for the entire claw machine. And I'll just save the backs of them for another Valentine's Day project. I just wanted this beautiful panel, and I did have to buy 4 of these to make this machine. So you don't have to use gift bags. You can use whatever you can find. Tissue paper from the Dollar Tree has hearts on it too. Just something that's going to make it look fun for Valentine's Day. But I loved the embossed heart. So what I'm going to do is cut a piece of it that I can go over the piece with. I just used an ink pen there on the back to sketch it out and cut this first piece down to size. I want to cut one of these for each one of the pieces. These are the shorter pieces. And so I'm going to cut these down, and then I'm going to cut the other ones a little bit wider so that I can cover the edges because you might be able to see those when I create the box. So here is another one of the gift bags. I was cutting these things up. I'm glad I bought 4 of them because I had no idea how much I was going to need for the claw machine. It worked out perfectly. So I just cut everything off, just leaving me a panel, and then we're gonna sketch these out. Now these are a little bit wider, and so I want these to be wider so that I can kind of wrap it around the edges. So I cut them a little bit longer, but the same height. And I'm just going to cut one of those out for each one of those pieces. This is going to be the very bottom of the claw machine. I do a door on here, but I just do a picture of a door. If you wanted to actually make a door, you really could with the foam board, but I didn't really think it was necessary because my claw machine turned out pretty big, so lots of room for candy. I'm just going to attach it to the foam board with Mod Podge, and I didn't have any trouble with it, but when I do this in the future on this DIY, I did start peeling the paper off and just gluing straight to the foam. I just find that it works better and you don't have to worry about any peeling because this paper does come loose sometimes when you're crafting with it like this. So I just put the Mod Podge down, laid down the pieces of the gift bag, and this is the ones that have like the longer sides that I want to wrap around the edges. I'm glad I thought to do that because you would have been able to see the white edges on the foam board in the final project if I hadn't done that. I just started by Mod Podging them on, and then it's going to be a little bit harder to get them to wrap around the edges. And so instead of using Mod Podge for the edges, I'm going to switch to hot glue. I think that will be better. And I do want to make sure that I don't get any Mod Podge residue there on the front of it. I just did a little bead of hot glue here and wrap that around the corner. And it's just going to make everything more finished. So the top of the box is going to be one of those 8x8 canvases. The bottom is going to be one of those 8x8 canvases, and then these are the 4 side panels to create the box. Now, if you can find an 8-inch box, you're going to be way ahead of the game. You won't have to DIY it because this was a time-consuming part of this DIY, but I absolutely love how this turned out. I'm just going to take a bead of hot glue there on the edge of the canvas, and this is one of the longer boards, so I'm going from end to end. It is the perfect width, 8 inches. And I glue that on at 90-degree angle. And then this is going to be the other side. This is where I'm going to do the little door. I designed this printable. It says push for prizes. And I will include a link to all of the printables down in the description of today's video. This is going to be the little door there at the bottom of the claw machine. And I thought about making it functional, but I decided that I can just add that to it. It will be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the other side with hot glue here. So we have half of our box created. And then I want to attach this to this part over on the side. Because on the right side of the claw machine, I'm going to do like where you put the money in, the joystick, that kind of thing. So I just put some Mod Podge there on the back. I printed mine out on cardstock just because I find it a little bit easier to work with. And then I just sealed it with some more Mod Podge, making sure to clean up any that got on the gift bag. I don't want there to be any residue left behind, but just a cute little door. It looks like there's tons of candy coming out of the bottom, which we're going to be adding a lot of candy to today's little claw machine. I love the idea of a claw machine. It's so fun. And then this is a side panel. See how I cut it shorter so it would fit in between? And it does. So I did a bead of hot glue and I attached it to the bottom first. But really you could attach it to all 3 sides at the same time if you wanted to. I went ahead and I had enough room to be able to glue it to the sides, and it's necessary to create a corner there of our box. And then I also added like a little bit more hot glue on the inside if needed. This is the other side of the box. This one I went ahead and put glue on all 3 sides and just kind of slid that into place, forming the corners. Now it's pretty stable. Some of the corners though weren't super square, so I'm going to square them out with some of the little mini Jenga blocks from the Dollar Tree. This is also going to give me something extra to glue the top of the box on, and it's just going to make it sturdier. So I'm going to leave like this entire box empty. But again, if you wanted to make your door functional, you could, and you could store more candy down here if you wanted to. Now I realized the matte finish of Mod Podge was probably not a good idea for the door. I needed to be a little shinier to go with that foil paper, so I did go over that with some gloss Mod Podge. Now it's time to attach the top of the box. I did hot glue here on all of the Jenga blocks and also on the edges of the foam board, and I'm going to lay that right on side. I kind of did mine canvas side up. It doesn't really matter. And we have the bottom of the claw machine. It's coming along. And now we need to work on the top part. It's also going to be a box for the top part. So I'm going to use the 8x8 canvas boards again. And we're going to use that remaining foam board to cut out the side panels of this. So basically, I'm going to construct it exactly the same way. I'm going to go two that are completely 8 inches wide and two that are a little bit shorter, but this time I'm doing it thinner. So as you can see, it's not as tall as the other box is going to be. And I really don't need it to be that tall for the top of the machine. I just need somewhere that I can put a sign, finish off the top of the claw machine. It's also going to be a lid for the project so that you can take it on and off. And it's going to have to hold the claw and the light and everything like that. So I cut two of the longer pieces. I want the other two pieces to be the same height, but a little bit skinnier. So I went ahead and used that for reference to cut down the next one. And then I want two of those. Those are going to be the side of the box. This is when I remembered that I really like peeling the paper off of these. It does make it a lot easier, especially when you're cleaning it up. And so what I did was I just peeled the paper off of all of my foam board pieces. And I would suggest you do that. It makes everything easier, gluing to it, sanding it, everything like that. And then again, I just sanded the panels and made them look a little bit better because I think my knife blade was a little bit dull on this. Now that I have all of the side panels, we can start putting the top box together for the claw machine. Again, we're using those same red foil Valentine's Day gift bags. So pretty. I absolutely love those. I think the foil gift bags, the Dollar Tree, are always my favorite. I love crafting with them. So again, I'm just going to cover each piece with this. The longer pieces will be a little bit wider to go over the edges, just like they were before. And so again, I'm just going to cut these all down to size. Too skinny for the skinnier ones and too wide for the wider ones. Is how you can remember that. I was able to get 3 out of that gift bag because they are skinnier. But again, I did need the fourth one. And I'm saving the side panels. I'm going to need at least one of those for the side panel of the claw machine. So we have all of our pieces cut out. This time I'm gluing directly to the foam since I peeled off the paper. And I just used Mod Podge and attached that to it. I'm going to do the same thing here for the other 3 pieces of the size of the box. And then just like before, I'm going to use some hot glue to attach the sides here of the ones that I made a little bit wider so they will cover the edges. Again, when you're making a project like this, try not to forget those little details like that because that would look awful if you could see the white edges when I put the box together. So we have all the pieces. This is going to be the top. We are going to do a sign on this part too. Again, we have the wider piece that can go end to end. I just hot glue that on all the way over to the edge. Now for this one, I did canvas side up. I probably should have done canvas side down because you are going to be able to see that inside the machine. And the paper does have a little bit of writing on it, but it's still white, so it worked. But if you were going to recreate, I would do canvas down. And then I'm going to glue the 2 side panel pieces in by gluing to the bottom and each side. And we're going to do that on this side as well. Just like before, I'm going to create it the same way where I want it to be nice and strong. So I reinforce the corners with some hot glue and some of the mini Jenga blocks here. That also gives me an additional eye area to glue the top on. So that's very helpful. Once I got those all 4 in place, I just put hot glue on all 4 and then hot glue on the edges. And we're going to attach to the top. I'm just going to leave the top of the claw machine white. It's going to look good with all of the red we've got going on. And it's so pretty already, it doesn't really need any extra details on the top. So that is the top part. For that, I designed this printable. This one says, "You won my heart." A fun printable to go on the claw machine as well. I printed this out on cardstock and I will include a link to the printable in the description of today's video. I'm going to use some gloss Mod Podge to attach this. I'm going to center this at the top because there's no need to have that off-centered for this piece. And then I'm going to attach that Mod Podge on top with more of the gloss to make it a little bit shiny to go with the gift bag, and then also kind of clean up any residue from that. I don't want to take away from those beautiful foil hearts. Now it's time for the acrylic to create the claw machine. I went ahead and peeled the front and the back protection off of these. The only thing you have to do is be very careful you don't get hot glue strings on these because it's kind of hard to get off. So you might want to leave that on there until you get it glued into place. So keep that in mind, the protective lining. I glued mine on one side, reinforced it there on the back, and then I'm going to peel and glue this one. I went ahead and peeled all of my protection off of mine. I got pretty lucky about not getting hot glue on mine. And I did the opposite side, gluing edge to edge, and then reinforce it a little bit here in the middle. And now for the side pieces, I can't make these skinnier very easily. So what I'm going to do is glue it to the actual acrylic on the edges. So again, I peeled off the protective layer and I added a bead of hot glue. I tried to get as thin as I could, going all the way up here on both sides. And then I'm just going to glue the glass on here, trying to make sure that the top lines up. I will have a little bit of a corner, and you can see the hot glue there where the acrylic comes together. I reinforce it on the inside as well. And I'll just decorate the corner so it's not super obvious where you have the hot glue seams in the corner. Now, this is the fourth and final piece of acrylic. I do the same thing over here. I do a bead of hot glue on the edge of each side piece. And this project is getting so large, it's taking up my entire craft station. So it's a little bit hard to show you, but I reinforced the corners there in the little bit of a gap there with hot glue on each side to make it strong. And then this is one of the remaining pieces of gift bags that I have left. I want this to be the side panel for my claw machine. So I'm just going to use my paper cutter and cut this down into a nice sheet by cutting off the areas of the gift bag that are not needed. Like I had a little bit of the bottom. I have a little bit of the top of it on there as well. And I'm just going to cut those down. It is like the perfect size for the 12-inch acrylic. And so it should go from top to bottom. Just trying to clean that up a little bit. Now, the next time we're going to add is a little slot to put like your dollar bill in to play the little claw machine. So I designed another printable here. I printed this one out on cardstock, and I'm going to attach it about halfway up the side panel here. And I'm just going to do that with some more of the gloss Mod Podge. I want enough room underneath of it to be able to add like the little joystick to control the claw. And we're going to attach this to the right side of the claw machine. And I just did that with some Mod Podge here on the back. I got maybe too much on there, and just lay this right here on that. I did have to kind of smooth it out a little bit to make sure that it sticks and doesn't want to peel away from the acrylic. Now, to decorate the corners and to cover the hot glue, I'm going to use some of the red heart ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I think this is so pretty, and it fit perfectly on here. I'm going to do like the pointed tips of the hearts pointing towards the center of the project. I just hot glued each end. You don't need to hot glue the whole thing. And then maybe one in the middle. And I'm going to kind of border everything out. I'm going to do all the sides except for the very back with this. And this is just going to kind of reinforce this edge too, add that little fun heart detail. And I tried to add as many heart details to this as I could for Valentine's Day. Even the chain and the claw are going to be heart themed in this one. So I flip it over here on the side. I also do the hearts like pointed sides towards the end, and I'm going to decorate both sides. This covered up all that hot glue and gave it a little bit of separation for the corners. So I think that was a fun detail. You really could use any kind of like Valentine's Day ribbon or even like a washi tape or something like that to kind of mask that area. But I thought the hearts were perfect. They're a little bit shiny too. So I did the same thing here on the other side. I had just enough of that ribbon. And that's going to finish off all of the corners of our machine. Now what we have to do is create the little joystick. I thought we could use one of these little wood heart picks from the Dollar Tree for the little heart, and some of the little mini Jenga blocks from the Dollar Tree for like the panel. Now, at first, I was going to actually use the wood stem on the heart, but I do end up switching that up here in just a minute, you'll see. I glued both of the little Jenga blocks together, and then I painted them like a salmon pink color all over the sides, top and bottom. Now, I kind of added to this because that panel ended up not being quite thick enough to stick out from the machine. And then I added a nail here to the top. I thought that would be a little bit more stable. And then you could have like a little metal handle for your joystick. And so I actually just am going to use the heart off of that little pick. And I hot glued this in place. You might want to use a little bit stronger glue for that. And then I added two more of the Jenga blocks to the back. That way it's going to stick out from the machine a little bit more and make the joystick a little bit more obvious. I glued that all together, creating one block out of four, and again painting them with that salmon pink color. So now we can go ahead and install this here on the front. It's going to be like the little handle that you control the claw with. I just attached mine with hot glue right here under where you put the money in. And we almost have our claw machine constructed. Now we need to work on the very top of it. So this is the top box that we DIY'd. We're going to use one of the Dollar Tree push lights. This is going to hold the claw. It's also going to light up the claw machine. So I thought that would be perfect. I'm just going to add some AAA batteries to this. And it does have like a little double-sided tape on here to stick it onto the top. I didn't know if that would be strong enough though, so I did reinforce mine with a little bit of hot glue. And I wanted to go over to the left side because remember we have that right panel on the claw machine. For the chain, we're going to use one of these little heart chains from the Dollar Tree. And I thought that would be a fun touch. It's got this little plastic piece on the end, so I thought I would take advantage of that. I can just glue that onto the center of the push light. It won't get in the way where I'll still be able to turn it on and off easily, the light inside, but it's going to be coming down straight from the center. Now to create the claw, I'm going to do it with one of the little heart slinkies from the Dollar Tree. These are like a little Valentine's Day favor. I'm going to use the pink ones at the end. And I'm going to cut off two of the hearts, cutting them at the very bottom. I thought if I put these together, it would look like a claw, a heart-shaped claw, if I crisscross them like that. And that actually worked out pretty well. Now, I did have to kind of see how long I want my chain to be. Not very long because I want to be able to have lots of room for, candy and prizes inside the claw machine. And I just attached the little heart claw with some hot glue. This step did take a little bit of patience because I really had to let the hot glue set up to make this strong enough. And then I'm going to add some more hot glue and add the other heart going the other direction. And again, I just had to let that dry to form the claw shape, which is also heart shaped, which I think is really fun. So this DIY is complete. I'm trying to show you what it looks like, but it's kind of hard because it's taken up my entire workstation. But that's a little preview. But let's fill it up with candy and treats for Valentine's Day. I found these little plastic containers from Dollar Tree that look like red candy. I thought that would be fun and festive. I can put candy inside of them. I thought we could do like maybe Reese's peanut butter cups inside of them because these weren't Valentine's Day themed, and so they're not really Valentine's Day colors. So that kind of dresses them up a little bit. And I chose candy that the recipient would like, Tootsie Rolls and little heart-shaped Krabby Patties. Now the Krabby Patties were $4 at Dollar Tree, but you got a lot in there, so I thought it was worth it. I'm going to dump those into the claw machine. I'm also going to dump in all of the Tootsie Rolls that I got at the Dollar Tree. We can add the little Reese's peanut butter cups and these fun little red candy holders. And I might as well add the remaining of those as well. And then I have some chocolate hearts from the Dollar Tree. These are like the little Palmer's hearts, and add those around. I wanted a lot of variety and some of the pink Hershey Kisses. Actually, I think these are the hugs. And we're going to add those in there as well. For little toys, I thought we could add some of those little heart-shaped slinkies from the Dollar Tree. Those would be fun prizes, so I chose like the pink and orange ones to kind of go with the theme. And then I thought this would be really fun. I found this at the Dollar Tree. It's like a little mini Stanley. Super fun. It's pink. I added that in there for a prize. Some of the heart-shaped pencil sharpeners from the Dollar Tree. And check out these erasers that I found at Dollar Tree. They look like sweet treats, so I thought these would be really fun. I really liked the little gummy bear. He's so cute. So I thought those would be fun prizes. You can add whatever you can find to yours. You can even do some little stuffed animals in here. That would be really cute for the claw machine. Now let's turn the light on and test this out. I'm just going to actually sit the top of it on there, but if you're traveling with yours, you could always attach with like a little bit of scotch tape to make sure it stays on. But I want the top to be able to be removed so that the recipient can grab all of the treats inside of it. This is how it turned out, our claw machine for Valentine's Day. I think this is such a fun gift. What do you guys think about my brand new Valentine's Day gift DIY? I think my son is going to love it. Hey guys, if you're enjoying today's video, be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'd really appreciate it if you would hype today's video. We're going to take one of these boxes from the Dollar Tree, just a regular box. It has to have a lid that comes on and off like this. This is kind of a big one. I chose the largest one I could find. And we're going to make a surprise box with this. So you're going to want to cut the side of each one of the boxes. I'm just using my razor blade and trying to go as straight as I can down. I don't want to have to clean it up too much. And what's going to happen is when they take the lid off, the box is all going to open with all kinds of Valentine's Day surprises. I'm going to do this one for a little girl. You could really do this for just about anybody because you can just change what you put in there. I did use my razor blade to kind of clean up some of the cardboard that didn't cut perfectly, just to try to make it look better. It'll make it look better when it's closed like that too, if you don't have like a lot of excess paper. So be sure to kind of clean it up a little bit. And what we're going to do is put different gifts on each side of the box, and then also a gift in the middle. So that looks pretty good. I think we can work with that. I was able to find some double-sided tape at Dollar Tree to use for this, and I kind of messed mine up a little bit here at the start. I didn't realize I couldn't really use that part right there. But I guess once you start releasing it, it works better. I could not get the lining off of the first one here, so I just removed it and put another piece down. You're not going to be able to see that. And I do like 2 strips of the double-sided tape. For a notebook, I found these sticky notes from the Dollar Tree in pink, just the right size. And you could also do like the little mini notebooks for this. And I'm going to stick it to the side. I need another piece of tape so it kind of stays in place right here. And then there's some room next to it, so I'm going to put some of those Dollar Tree pencil sharpeners next to it. They're super cute. They go with the theme. I wanted to do like for like art supplies, some of the scented markers, a notebook, anything that would fit in there. You could also do like crayons would work really well in there. If you could find some smaller pencils to fit in there. Again, if you're at Dollar Tree already, just take the box with you to whatever aisle you're going and see what would fit in there. And you kind of have to test it to make sure it's going to stand up properly and everything's going to stay attached. I was able to put 4 of the pencil sharpeners on there. On the other side, we're going to do the scented markers. I thought these were really pretty. They have so many markers that would fit in here. These barely fit, but they can slightly overlap the top, so I think it'll work well. Just make sure that it will open when you're attaching these. I'm going to attach mine like rainbow style here. And who doesn't love a scented marker? And I think that would be really cute. I always like to include like art supplies. That's a fun thing to include in Valentine's Day gifts. But we can't forget candy. So I picked up some of the chocolate hearts. We have cookies and cream. We have the double crisp hearts. We're going to stay with one theme for each of the walls. So again, you just take your double-sided tape and make a row and start attaching the chocolate candy. I was able to get 3 across to fit in this. And you know, you can put as many prizes in here as however large your box is, right? So I did a total of 9 in like a grid fashion like that with the double-sided tape, and that looks really good. Let's change it up with a different kind of candy on the other side. And I think this is such a fun gift idea. You know, you don't have to do this just for a child. This would be a great gift idea for an adult as well. Way to include candy, little fun things, and the fact that it like kind of explodes when you open it is a really fun Valentine's Day surprise. I was able to fit 9 of these on this side too. They're the same size. And just make sure to push them down so they will at least stay stuck, at least temporarily. And that looks pretty good. We have all of the sides filled up. I do want to add some candy inside. I'm going to use some of the Valentine's Day Tootsie Rolls set for that, a smaller candy. When it explodes, I want to make sure everything fits really well. I do want to put a little bit of the decorative shred here in the bottom, just to kind of go with the confetti effect when you open it. So I just do like a little bed of the pink and white confetti down here. For the prize inside, I found a cute little teddy bear, pink and red. I'm just going to cut the price off of it and the tag here and put that inside. It says for someone special, so I'll leave the little heart tag on there. It fits in there just perfectly. You could also use like one of any of the like small stuffed animals or gnomes for this project. Let's try it on to make sure he's gonna fit, and he does. So kind of temporarily put it together like this, like a box, and then start filling it up. I started filling mine up with the Valentine's Day Tootsie Rolls and the shredded paper to make it look really full. So when you open it up, it's all gonna kind of explode out. And I will show you how that works. You kind of need more than two hands to kind of keep it closed while you're filling it up. You might want to put something on each side. And then while holding it together, go ahead and slide the lid on. Try to make sure that none of your shredded paper is kind of sticking out the sides. And it looks so cute. You have no idea that it's a surprise box. But let me show you how it is a surprise. So when your gift recipient takes the lid off, it all comes out like this, where they'll see all of their gifts. But for now, let's go ahead and try to put this back together before it exploded by closing it back up and putting the lid back on. I think this is such a fun gift idea. Who doesn't like a little surprise in their gift? It looks just like a standard gift, Valentine's Day gift box, nothing special. So it is a fun surprise when they go to open it. So this is what it looks like, of course, closed. And if you wanted to do a smaller version of this, they do have different size boxes. And this is what it looks like. Exploded open. I think the paper shreds is kind of like a confetti effect. And having some more candy inside of it kind of spill out like that really adds to the effect when it opens up. And you can put lots of fun little surprises in there, and it does not cost very much to put this together. So this is how it looks like before it explodes, and then I also have it after it's all open. Really fun gift idea. Now, I've seen this idea around and I wanted to try it. You take two of these bowls from Dollar Tree, put them together, use a foam wreath and a plate, and make a giant ring pop. And it holds all the presents. And so I thought I had to try it. So I picked up a couple of these when I was out shopping for this stuff at Dollar Tree today. So I got two of the pink bowls, one of the wreath forms, and then I picked up some of these plastic plates from the party section at Dollar Tree. Just because I didn't really want to paint a plate and I wanted it to be lightweight and plastic. They are very lightweight, but I think we can make them work. The red and pink are perfect for Valentine's Day, but I will have to paint the wreath form. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut like right along the seam that's already on there. What I want to do is kind of cut an area out, kind of like, how a ring pop has an opening in it, so you can adjust it around your finger. And then the other part that I'm going to have to cut off is the top of it so that I can attach the ring pop to it. So I'm just using my little pool noodle cutter thing from Dollar Tree to cut the foam. It works really well. And as you can see, I just cut part of it so I have a flat surface where I can attach that plate to it. Now, this was the only item that isn't in Valentine's Day color, so I'm definitely going to have to paint that. I wish I had spray paint for this, even though I don't know how that would do on the foam. I didn't have any, so I'm just using some bright red acrylic and a brush and just going to paint this all over. Trying to paint both sides at once without like really sitting it down so I can get maximum coverage. I was really impressed with how well it painted. I only did one coat. It was kind of a heavy coat, but I was worried I wasn't going to be able to cover up all of that green, but it actually really went on pretty well. I thought the red would go great with the plate for the bottom part of the ring pop, and then the ring pop itself can be the pink to represent the candy. And they're both Valentine's Day colors, so I think they'll go well together. So I don't really have to paint like the flat part up here. So I'm just kind of painting all around that. And then I used my heat gun to dry this. It was pretty wet, so it did definitely take a few minutes to get that dry so that we could work with that and start putting all this together. This is how it looks dry, and now we can start filling this up. I thought it would be best to load up the ring pop first with Valentine's Day presents. So let me show you what I found at Dollar Tree. But first I'm going to start with a little bit of filler to help fill it up a little bit. It's not going to need too much because I did find lots of stuff to go into this. So I'm just using some of the red filler here for the bottom of the gift basket. I found this cute little XOXO pink puppy, a little plushie. I thought he would be so cute inside. And then we're going to fill it up with, I also found some Valentine's Day socks, some XOXO socks. I'm going to fold those up, put those in there, but everything else is pretty much going to be candy. I did want to put like ring pops inside to kind of go with the ring pop theme. But the only ones I could find were the lip pops, but they're still ring pops, so I think that totally works. So they look like lips when you put them, like the sucker in your mouth. So they're kind of cute with definitely a Valentine's Day theme. So I'm going to go ahead and do a bag of those from Dollar Tree. I found some of the pink, red, and white swirled heart pops from Dollar Tree as well. And we're going to do a bunch of those suckers in here as well. I'm going to save some of those for another DIY. And again, some of the Reese's Hearts, so delicious. Everybody likes these. I'm going to pile some of these in here. Since you're doing that entire like ring pop, you can definitely do some bigger gifts than this one. And then again, I have some of like the peanut butter hearts we can scatter in here, some of the chocolate hearts. Just kind of load it up with goodies for Valentine's Day. Super cute. Now you could glue this together, but I wanted to make it easy for the child to open. So I'm just going to use some tape, and I'm just going to tape like 4 sides. That's going to keep it together, but it's going to make it easy enough for the gift recipient to open this. And you can't really see it. Kind of blends in with the bowl. So this is what we have so far for the top of our ring pop. Now we need to put this all together. I was trying to think, I didn't really want to hot glue this on here, but I am going to have to use some hot glue. That plastic plate was very thin, so I didn't know how well it would hold up. So for this part, I decided to use double-sided tape. It's pretty strong. So I'm going to use 4 pieces of that on the inside of the plate, and then I'll just leave the glue for the wreath part for the bottom. So I'm just going to stick that right on there. That's going to be the bottom part. I was having a hard time. I didn't want to find a plate that was too big. I wanted it to kind of be to scale, and I think that this worked well. So that's how that looks at this point. And now it's a matter of attaching the ring to the ring pop. I actually love how this turned out. I think it was so fun to make, and I'm so glad that I decided to try it. I went ahead and set mine upside down, and we can kind of put this together like this. Whenever you put hot glue on foam, it's going to melt, so you kind of have to act fast with this. I just lay this on the plate. I did have a little bit of hot glue like seeping out, but no big deal. I'm just making sure that I push down a lot, that it's good and secure, and it's not really going to fall apart on me. And then I did try to clean up some of my hot glue mess there, but when the foam wreath started crackling, I like kind of panicked and put it on there really fast. But it worked. And here it is, our little ring pop gift basket. This was so fun to make. I really enjoyed this, and I think the recipient is going to love it. It'd be perfect for a little girl, but I think anybody would love it. I think it's super fun. And I'm a full-grown adult. But this is how it turned out. I think the pink and the red really worked well together. It was a lot easier to make than I thought it would be. Really, the only time-consuming part for me was painting the wreath form. But look how cute that is. Now for the next one, I picked up one of these little pink It's kind of like a little caboodles like makeup case, right? From Dollar Tree, and it's pink glitter, and I thought that would be perfect for Valentine's Day for this idea. I am going to use some of the red glitter hearts again. These are the little foam stickers from Dollar Tree, just to give a little bit more of a Valentine's Day feel for it. And you could always remove those later if you wanted to, but I thought it'd be cute to kind of decorate it for Valentine's Day besides the pink glitter. And then it has like a pink bottom. I thought this would be really cute to do a little art gift basket for a kid. So again, I have some of the decorative shred from Dollar Tree in the party section. This one's really cute. It's like pink and white shred like mixed together. And I'm just going to go ahead and put some in there. Might need to add some more here in a minute. And then I found some really cute little art supplies. These are little heart stickers from the Dollar Tree. I thought those would be really cute for Valentine's Day. These are some really cute like pastel colored gel pens. And you can find some really cute art supplies at the Dollar Tree. Look at this little alpaca pink notebook that like folds open. It's got like little notebooks and post-it pads inside and super cute. It's not technically Valentine's Day, but I thought the pink definitely went with Valentine's Day. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the package just to make it a little bit more accessible. And it's just the right size for this case. And this is a great case to carry art supplies around with too. I also found some pink like pearl crayons and look, even some little heart eraser hearts, all from Dollar Tree, to load up this cute little basket. Now, I'm going to attach a free printable to this as well. This one's going to say creativity in a box. I thought that was really fun. It doesn't really need much else because you've got the pink glitter, you've got like the red hearts and stuff like that. I didn't think it looked as full as I wanted it to. So I'm just going to add a little bit more shreds, pile everything back in there. And now we just need to add the tag. This is what it looks like, the printable that I designed with all 6 of them together. I was going to do print and cut, but most of them are just hearts. So pretty easy to cut out by themselves. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut mine out rather than try to mess with my Cricut. I will include it as a PDF file though, where you can print them all out at once. And so I just cut this one out, poked a hole in there, and again, just going to use twine, and I can tie that to the handle. A cute little creativity in a box for the art supplies. Perfect. I know not only my son, but like my nieces and nephews always really enjoyed getting art supplies for gifts. Sometimes that's what they would ask for me from Christmas, and I would get them as much as I possibly could. But I think that looks pretty cute. I'm not going to do a bow or anything like that. I don't think it really needs it. So here it is, our little creativity in a box DIY. I love the pink glitter. We do have a few Valentine's Day accents on there with the stickers, but it's just some really cute like pink and heart themed art supplies inside. And you never know what you're going to find at Dollar Tree, like in the art supply category. You can really find some really nice stuff. Okay, for the next DIY, I wanted to do kind of like a movie night theme. So I found some of these great like popcorn buckets. They're like paper buckets from the Dollar Tree in the Valentine's Day section. You get 2 for $1.25, and I'm actually going to be using both of them. They're a really nice size. So this is really cute because then once you pop the popcorn, you can put it in the bucket. So I also got some Pop Secret movie theater popcorn and some chocolates. And I even got a gift card at Dollar Tree. We usually like rent movies from Apple and stuff like that. So I thought that would be a good option because I kind of wanted to do a movie night at home. But they also have like AMC and Regal and stuff like that at Dollar Tree too. I'm going to go ahead and start filling up my popcorn bucket with a little bit of the red paper shreds. And then we can put the popcorn in there and the chocolates. And you can get whatever kinds you want. I kind of wanted like a sweet and a salty kind of theme for this movie night then. And I just kind of add more shred until it looks a little bit fuller and everything looks good. I want it to, it's only got 3 items, so I want it to look as full as I can. Now for the Apple gift card, I am just going to use one of the skewers from Dollar Tree and just cut it off so it's not too long. And I'm just going to simply attach that to the back of the gift card. making sure I don't really interfere with anything with the gift card. And I just glue my skewer on the back, and then I can use that as a pick, kind of putting that down in the gift basket. I'm also going to use those red shreds to kind of fill up the sides. And this is just a quick Valentine's Day gift that anybody would love. Popcorn, candy, a free movie. I mean, can't go wrong with that as a Valentine's Day gift. So this is set up pretty well. I'm just going to go ahead and pop off the top of this, the hanger, and kind of push this down inside the gift basket. And then I kind of want to keep everything together on this one as well. I want to make sure you don't lose that gift card. And so I'm going to shrink wrap this as well with just some of the plastic wrap. I'm just going to kind of go base to base on this. Again, there's like one side that might not have a complete seal, but pretty close. I decided to kind of do mine front to back like this, kind of wrapping that around the bottom of it on both sides and kind of bringing the sides together. It pretty much covers everything up. And then again, I'm going to go in with my heat gun and shrink wrap it. Trying not to go too hot on the chocolates, of course. But just a quick, easy Valentine's Day DIY gift that you could really give to anybody. I don't know who would not like this for Valentine's Day. So I think that looks pretty good. I've got it shrink wrapped as tight as I can. As you can see, that the plastic wrap just does such a good job for that. I really like using that. And now this is the printable I designed for this one. I did movie night with some movie items inside of a little red heart. Again, pretty generic, so you can pretty much use that for just about anyone. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut this one down too. I don't really have anywhere to hang this one as well, so I'm going to kind of do the same thing where I'm just going to put some double-sided tape here on the back and just stick that on the top here. Just a fun little tag to add to it and explain what the gift basket is about. So this is another Valentine's Day gift DIY, popcorn, candy, and a movie. Really fun gift. This would be great for your sweetheart or pretty much anyone on your list. Kids would enjoy this as well. And, you know, you can use the popcorn bucket. So I love a functional item like that you can use for your gift basket. So you're really not going to have any extra waste. Now for the next DIY, I just found a red and white bucket at Dollar Tree. I couldn't find a Valentine's Day one, so I thought we would make it a Valentine's Day one. I was able to find window clings, and so I thought maybe one of these little heart ones with a word on there would be really cute on the little tin bucket. And it sticks to the metal, so you can just kind of lay it on there. That way the gift recipient can always take that off and have a little red and white tin bucket that's not necessarily for Valentine's Day, so that works well. I wanted to do like a candy floral arrangement. Instead of flowers, we're going to do candy. So I used one of the little foam circles from Dollar Tree that fits perfectly in those little tin buckets. I don't want you to really see the green on top though. So I'm going to use some of the red party shreds to decorate the top. So I just put like a layer of hot glue down and kind of glue that. I have a little bit of room there. You could always paint it as well, but I had the decorative shreds, so I thought that would probably be the easiest option to kind of cover up all of that. But it's going to give me a great surface to kind of pile this up with. Instead of flowers, we're going to be using candy. I did want to work in some like regular heart decor as well though, so I am going to use some of the heart picks for decoration. I'm going to start with 3 and I can always add more as needed. And then everything else I'm going to kind of have coming out of it like a flower. This one's already on a pick. It's like the pink like Krabby Patty candies from the Dollar Tree. It's nice and tall, so I'm going to put that one kind of right here in the middle. And then I'm just going to kind of have things like shooting out and up, just kind of like the picks in every direction instead of flowers. For the candy, I chose some of the candy hearts. I thought that would be perfect. So they have different varieties. They have like peanut butter. They have like Crispies, whatever kind of color scheme you want. And then I'm going to use some of the skewers from Dollar Tree and kind of cut those down if needed. I'm just going to hot glue those to the back of the candy. This seemed to work well on most of these. Some of them did kind of want to unwrap. And so you can also tape it to the back. And I did end up needing to tape some of these. But I'm kind of shortening them all just because my skewers are really long. Not necessarily doing them all the same length though, because I want them kind of being different lengths that I can kind of pile in there. I'm going to do quite a few of the hearts because I want that to be, I want a lot of hearts to be sticking out of it. I thought that'd be really cute for candy. And finding like individually wrapped candy at Dollar Tree can be a little bit challenging because a lot of things come like in big bags. So I tried to make sure everything I did today was individually wrapped. As you can see, that one was starting to come apart, but no big deal. I can just use some Scotch tape on the back of it and make that a little bit stronger without interfering. Most of them did hold up though. I tried to stick with like the red and the silver kind of color scheme on this so they'll all coordinate well together, and just start putting those into the foam. It's a great way to display these, and it kind of makes just a little bit of candy look like kind of a bigger present, if you will. A really fun display. This would be a great gift for anybody, like someone in the office, just anybody I think would enjoy this. Who doesn't want some candy for Valentine's Day? Even if they don't have a Valentine, right? And so I needed one more, so I'm gonna to kind of balance it out right here. Kind of doing a pattern, not really, but I thought I needed one more back there. And then I also got some of those heart swirl suckers, so I thought those would be perfect. They're going to be a little shorter, but they will kind of fill in some of the bottom parts, again with the heart theme, and the colors go nicely. So I'm going to kind of scatter those around, pushing those into the floral foam as well. And then I thought I might need just a few more things, so I'm going to do a couple more of the little glitter like hearts just to kind of fill it out, make it nice and full. You could always add flowers too if you wanted. I kind of wanted to just go with like a heart and candy theme on mine, and I think it turned out really cute. What do you guys think? Here it is, our little love bucket full of love. Chocolate candy, glitter hearts. We've even got some heart shaped suckers in there. Looks delicious, was super easy to do, and I had a great time putting these little Valentine's Day gift baskets together today. Now I'm going to use another one of those red plastic bowls, but this time we're going to take this gift basket in a different direction. I'm going to start with some party shreds. We're going to do some pink shreds here at the bottom. And this Valentine's Day gift basket is going to be for a man or a teenager guy probably. We have some Old Spice. I was trying to find red stuff for men. So this is some Old Spice soap in a red container. I thought that'd be good. They even have like cologne at the Dollar Tree, which is surprising, but hey, willing to try it. We'll put that over there. Some toothpaste is red as well. This guy's pretty practical, and he's going to want stuff that he can actually use. A new toothbrush. I really like these little charcoal brushes from the Dollar Tree with like the bamboo handles. They're really nice. They even have like mossy oak work socks. So I thought those are some really nice quality socks. And I'm going to kind of roll those up and add those to the gift basket as well. Kind of like I did with the spa basket, kind of here at the tip of the heart. And these didn't really want to stay in a circle shape. They probably stay better if they didn't have the tags on there, but I kind of wanted to leave the tags on here to kind of show what they were. So I'm just going to take a Dollar Tree rubber band and go around that, kind of cinch it off a little bit, make them keep their shape a little bit in the gift basket. And then we can fill it up with some more stuff for a guy. I found like this little 8-in-1 multi-use knife. You can find items like this like in the hardware section. Sometimes they even have like a little men gift section set up for Valentine's Day at Dollar Tree. I got one of these as well from Dollar Tree. That would be a great knife as well to add to the gift basket. This guy loves Swedish fish, and so they had those at Dollar Tree, so I went ahead and grabbed a bag of those. And some of like the fancy chocolates as well. I picked up some of those. We can kind of work those in the gift basket. I wanted practical things, but I also wanted like some sweet treats as well. Here's a nice little chocolate bar. And it doesn't have to be the Valentine's Day candy, but I also am going to include a Valentine's Day heart, a little box of chocolates. This one says Happy Valentine's Day. It just has roses on it. And then I also got a chocolate rose. The box is kind of big, but if I take it out of the package, I think we can make this work. Because I kind of wanted to do a rose theme since I did the little rose box of chocolate. And I'm just going to put the little chocolate rose over here to the side. It's a little too long. So I'm just going to shorten mine a little bit so it will fit inside my gift basket. And just cut the plastic stem down. And that seemed to work. And I think that looks really good for a gift basket for a guy. So we're going to go in and shrink wrap this with some of the plastic wrap. And I kind of want to do a bow for this one as well. I'm going to do a little bit more of a masculine pattern for this one. But again, I'm using that same gift basket that we used for the woman's spa basket. This is kind of a guy version, if you will. A little less of the fancy spa stuff, a little bit more of the practical stuff. And again, it's kind of big, so I'm going to use 2 pieces of plastic wrap to shrink wrap this in and just kind of slightly overlap that right there in the center. Just going to go in again with my heat gun and shrink wrap this. And again, I do want to do like a large bow on this one. I thought if I stuck with like red, maybe like some of like the red and white gingham would be a little bit more masculine. This is also from the Valentine's Day aisle, and it is wired, so I can make another large bow with this. This is patterned on both sides, so it's going to be even easier. I don't have to flip it. I can just cinch it in the middle. So I did a tail, a loop on both ends, and then a zip tie here in the middle. This one's going to be a little bit smaller bow because I do have an idea to decorate this one further. And so I'm just going to go ahead and pull my tail down. Making the bows with the zip ties like this is so easy to do. It really is. And just dovetail my ends here. And again, it's wired, so it's easy to shape and fluff as needed. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to use some double-sided tape here on the back so I can attach that to the packaging on the top of this gift basket right here at the top. And since I was doing kind of a Valentine red rose theme for this gift basket, even though it's for a guy, I did it on the chocolates. I did it on the chocolate rose. I thought one of the Dollar Tree felt roses would be perfect to finish off the bow. I'm just going to attach it right there in the center with some hot glue. Just a little bit more of a masculine bow, I think. But I think it turned out really cute. Just making sure my ribbon's not too long. I don't really want it sticking off the sides too much. And this is how it turned out, our little gift basket for a guy. You know, it's almost been a month since we all got sick. And, you know, I'm still having to pause the voiceover for coughing fits. I swear. I want this to completely go away. This was so nasty. Stay healthy out there, guys. I think this turned out really cute. Very practical. Now the next DIY, I'm going to do a baking theme. So I picked up one of the little red mixing bowls from the Dollar Tree, and that is going to be a gift basket that's actually, you know, something that you can use. And since I'm doing the baking theme for cake, I also picked up a little whisk and a little spoon from Dollar Tree, and they even have red measuring cups. Sometimes you can find the heart-shaped ones there. I also have some of their little silicone pink little cupcake reusable like silicone molds, I guess. And I thought that'd be really cute piled in with some cake. Now the person I'm making this for is keto, so I made sure to get the right kind of cake mix and frosting from the grocery store. Unfortunately, I couldn't find that one at the Dollar Tree, but I think they do have cake mix a lot of times and frosting at the Dollar Tree. And again, I'm using some of the pink and white shreds to fill up the bottom of our little mixing bowl. And then we can just start loading everything in here. This is a really fun idea for a gift basket for just about anybody. Everybody loves cake, right? Even if you can't do sugar. So I just kind of load everything in here, and then I want to kind of shrink wrap it. So of course, everything stays together and it kind of looks more professional. Now I'm just going to use cheap generic plastic wrap to do my shrink wrapping. It's so easy. It gives you a really nice finish. It melts easily. I'm going to use my heat gun, but you could always use a blow dryer if you don't have one. And I'm not going to go on the sides. I don't really want to interfere with the handle or anything. I'm just going to go around mine because it's not quite wide enough to cover everything on this large mixing bowl. But I do kind of want to overlap it slightly at the bottom just to kind of seal it in. So I just wrapped it all the way around. And then I'm just going to, kind of gather it, start pushing it on the sides of the mixing bowl, just to get it as tight as I can before I go in and start shrink wrapping it. Now, as you can see, the plastic wrap melts just like shrink wrap, but it's less expensive and easier to find. So I get a nice shrink wrap around like all my baking supplies, my cake mix, and everything like that. Just get it as tight as I possibly can. And it's super easy to remove for the gift recipient as well. Now, I did design a printable to go on this one as well. This one, I designed a cute little cupcake. It says Sweet Valentine Wishes. I was trying to think of a fun saying to go on there. That's basically all I could come up with. I couldn't think of any good cake sayings for this. But it has a little heart on top, and I thought that was super cute. So just going to cut that one down too and just make a little gift tag for this one. I don't really have anywhere to hang it, so I'm not going to punch this one. I'm actually just going to use some of the double-sided tape from Dollar Tree and pop one of those on the back and then just stick it to the shrink wrap right on top. And we have another Valentine's Day gift. Sweet Valentine Wishes, a fun cake theme with, items that you can really use. There's really not much that you would have to throw away on this for packaging. Just, I guess, the packaging that your cake comes in, basically, and, your shrink wrap. But I think it turned out really cute. It's very red, very Valentine's Day. Definitely goes with the theme well. Now, the next DIY, I found some of these great, like, clear XOXO Valentine's Day baskets at Dollar Tree. Again, you get 2 in a package for $1.25. And I thought this would be really cute to do like a manicure theme for a gift basket. So I'm only going to need one of these. So I'm going to go ahead and separate them. I like the fact that it's clear. It's going to kind of show off everything that's going to be in this gift basket. And it's kind of a smaller gift basket, so you don't have to go too crazy. Now, I found some items from, like the nail care. I found fingernail polish remover. It's like a purple color, so that's going to go great with the Valentine's Day color scheme. And then I picked up 3 different kinds of pink in the fingernail polish. I thought that was really cute for Valentine's Day. I found some little matchbook nail files. These were pink and they have little roses on them. And even found some pink like toenail clippers. And then for filler, I thought it'd be really cute to use cotton balls to use, with the fingernail polish remover. So it's a functional filler. I'm going to go ahead and pop this out of the plastic just to make it a little bit more accessible. I'm going to leave the clippers in the package though, just so they don't get lost in the gift basket. And we can start putting this together. I love the idea of using the cotton balls and having like a functional filler. I think that's really great. And I got the cotton balls. I got everything, of course, at the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to start placing the cotton balls in the bottom just to get us started for filler. And then we can start loading this up. The largest item I have, of course, is the fingernail polish remover. So I'm going to put that in there and then just keep going. The little nail files, the nail clippers, and then I'm going to kind of build it up a little bit more, and then we can put the fingernail polish in there up towards the top where you can still see it. And I'm trying to include as many of the cotton balls as I can to make the gift basket nice and full. And I think this is a really fun, cute theme for a gift basket. And again, this could be, for anybody that wants to paint their nails. It doesn't necessarily need to be for a child, but I think it's really cute. And again, I don't want everything kind of flying out of it, so I am going to shrink wrap this as well. Just going to go in there with some of the plastic wrap. I find it easier just to take the whole roll out than to worry about the cutter and just cut it with scissors. Otherwise, I might end up with a tangled mess. And again, we're just going to go over the top like that and kind of go around the very bottom so we can kind of shrink wrap everything nicely. And this kind of like really kind of disappeared against like that clear plastic container, made it look really nice in the end. And I just try to kind of clean up the sides as much as I can, kind of like wrapping a package almost. Once I get it all on there, I can go in and give it a quick shrink wrap. I did design a printable for this one as well to kind of go with the theme. A little Valentine's Day poem that I thought would be cute to attach to this. So once I get it all shrink wrapped, we can attach that. Again, I don't really have like a handle or anything on this to hang it, so I'm just going to kind of attach it to it. But this is how it looks so far. Isn't that so cute? Very festive for Valentine's Day. And this is the free printable. Roses are red, violets are blue. Now you can paint your nails too. So I thought that was cute. I put a little bottle of nail polish on there with a heart on it. And so we're just going to cut out this little pink heart and attach this again with some double-sided tape just onto the plastic wrap. Couldn't be any easier, and everything in this is very functional, and the little container is pretty cute too. You could always reuse that as well. And this is how it turned out, our little manicure Valentine's Day gift basket. Kind of a smaller scale gift basket, but still super cute. I love those containers. I think those are so cute. Dollar Tree really does a good job on stuff like that. And I just found all the stuff at my Dollar Tree today, so everything should still be readily available. The next DIY, super easy, could be for anybody. Just pick up one of the little Valentine's Day tins from Dollar Tree and fill it up with candy. I had some of the red Hershey Kisses left over, and I'm just going to go ahead and pile that up. This would be a great gift for just anyone that you want to make feel special for Valentine's Day. And that's really all you have to do. Fill it up with candy and give it as a gift. And I think these little tins are so cute. Also something that they could keep and reuse. A little Be Mine tin of chocolate kisses. I had such a great time putting together today's Valentine's Day gift DIY video for you. Please let me know down in the comments below which DIY was your favorite, or just come say hello. I love reading all of your comments. This is my QR code if you would like to buy me a coffee, and you can find me at Crafty Beach on YouTube on all social media. Enjoy the final reveal.
Nothing ever felt as good or as easy as when we were young. Oh, though I felt misunderstood, it was a pleasure running away with you. We were just children acting like a doll, crazy, naive, bold and carefree. We were kids having kids, crazy, naive. It amazes me that we didn't fall apart harder than we did. They keep us on speaking terms. We grow and we learn. regrets, only forgets. Oh, a big thank you to life for giving us sand. Oh, when the timing's right, there's no wasteland. Oh, we were just children, acting like adults, crazy, naive, bold and carefree. We were kids having kids, crazy, naive. It amazes me that we didn't fall apart harder than we did. Well, life keeps on moving. It's cold. Yes, life goes on changing. That we didn't fall apart.
Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of today's video. That is such a great way to reward a YouTube creator. And I would also like to thank my YouTube members for supporting my channel. Thank you to Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Janae Farrington, Amelia Wren, Donna Schreiner, I Am Mojo Jojo, Marion Christensen, Adrienne Brolt, Debbie Middleton, Red Mama, Powell Puppy Life, Renee Albanese, Jenny, Debbie Austin, James Osborne, and Lizette Thomas. If you would like early ad-free access to my content here on YouTube, join us in the membership. And if you would like more Valentine crafting DIY inspiration, be sure to check out one of these videos right here. And until next time, happy crafting!